So you've gone through the big part of coronavirus. I don't call it COVID. COVID-19, I guess, is what's the accepted name these days? What's the accepted name?
COVID-19.
I don't like that.
Too bad. When's it going to end?
I like
When's it gonna end?
coronavirus, the crown virus.
When's it going to end?
I like the crown virus. When people are ready, that's when it's going to end.
Oh, really? Really?
What are you trying to channel, Dr. Doug? Oh.
And all these variants? Really?
You know, I explained it. I don't have to keep explaining myself over and over again.
What did you explain?
I explained that, and this literally. So coronavirus came in just at the right time, slowed everything down for a little bit, caused a lot of disruptions in people's lives. That was a good thing because they need a kick in the ass once in a while, or a kick in the corona, as it were here. Something to change. And I truly feel it was probably the most brilliant setup I've seen with humanity in a long time. Humanity's not all that smart. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's like a fact. There are a lot of chambra even, but people that get into conspiracy theories, and particularly related to the government. Hello, I've never met a government that smart that can carry off a conspiracy theory. Government workers, there's a few here, sorry. Carrie, would you go outside and do something? Government workers, they go in at 9. They're done by 10, but they stay until 4. Bye, Carrie. And if they were going to carry out a conspiracy, they're not there enough out. Hi, Carrie.
I go in at 9:30.
At 9:30 she goes in, not at 9. And what time do you check out?
6, 7-ish.
Really? Okay, well, that's good. No, but you're not a typical government worker. You're an implant.
I'm not typical at all.
Yeah, you're a plant.
What are you doing?
Shining your damn light. Somebody's got to do it. Hello,
Pay me more.
Tell them that you're there. Tell them you upped your light now. You want to up the salary.
And I'll tell them.
Oh, I'll do that. Okay. She's a good negotiator. Where were we? Conspiracies. Come on, please, people. What a distraction from an otherwise perfectly awesome realization. I mean, what a distraction. There is no government on the planet right now that's capable of carrying out a conspiracy on a long-term basis. It's the government we're talking about. Businesses, to a degree, but they're essentially bottom-line oriented. So eventually, if it doesn't serve the bottom line, they don't continue with the conspiracy. And there's things going on. There's people scheming all the time. There's a lot of imbalances on the planet, but thankfully, most chambra take a deep breath and say, that's not mine. Even if it's happening, it's not mine. Therefore, your energy's not mucked up in it. And you see, I didn't say the bad word for Edith. Your energy's not mucked up with it. And it doesn't affect you. It can affect the rest of the planet. It doesn't affect you. Bottom line, coronavirus, I like the word corona because it's the crown, the breakdown of old systems is what it is. And ultimately, the biggest effect that it has on a practical level, a material level, is on finances. Look what it's doing. I mean, look how it changed everything. Who would have predicted, including me, that this deep into coronavirus, the issue isn't people not having jobs. The issue is not enough workers for the jobs that are there. What does that tell you? Something came to life during this whole time. Things changed. The economy is more dynamic than ever if the workers show up. But who would have predicted? It's almost the opposite of what was the common kind of consensus or thought about coronavirus when it first came out. Everything changes very quickly right now, and mostly in your own life. I just even forget about the rest of the world or or even Shambra, in your own life, it's changing quickly. The plans that you think you have right now, not so much. And that's the good news, because the plans that you would make right now would be based on a lot of the past, on your old human experiences, on what you think are your human needs. And it's going to change very quickly. Be ready for that. I hear that the Crimson Circle staff got together recently and we're planning for the future. It's going to change. It's going to be different. Plans are good, you know. They make you feel comfortable. They make you think you have a safety net underneath. But the reality is there's no safety net. And the real reality is, why are you looking down when you should be looking up? Just saying. You made it through the coronavirus. It's going to have its iterations around for a little while. It's doing a deep cleansing. You know, there's a difference between taking a shower or a quick bath, you know, and you get a little bit clean, and then you hop out and get right back to what you were doing. Humanity asked for a deep cleanse. They asked for the total thing, and that's what's happening. There's wave after wave now of the changes that are coming about as a result of this coronavirus, wave after wave. So it wasn't just a surface cleaning. It was a brilliant plan to begin with, and then it got more brilliant along the way. Brilliant because it was time for a change on the planet. I think we all agree with that. That doesn't mean just electing a new leader, because there are no leaders right now. They're old leaders, dressed up, put a little makeup on them. But it was brilliant. There was no war. And yes, a lot of people died. But, and this is, Calder doesn't like when I say this, but they were going to die anyway. I didn't mean it like that. I meant they knew they were only going to stay around the planet for so long. If it wasn't one thing, it would have been another. They didn't want to stay. Have compassion for that and acceptance rather than the blame. And it was a lot less devastating than any war, and any war could have been. That was a brilliant plan, because in the past it was always, time for change, let's go to war. And or some huge natural catastrophe like Atlantis. Atlantis didn't happen. In other words, a natural wiping out of life as you knew it, because you didn't want it to go that way. I said, we've been through that before. Let's not do that again. So this coronavirus was brilliant to begin with. It caused changes on this planet that you haven't even begun to realize yet. The just out of the technology sector, the things that were developed in this past year and a half, when people slowed down a little bit, they stayed more within themselves. They didn't go to work. They weren't in a disruptive environment. They were at home. It drastically accelerated the pace of which things are happening. Technology, way, way up. You'll see it, and we'll document it over the next few years, what was developed, what was incubated during the coronavirus period. It's truly phenomenal. Changes in people's perceptions of themselves. There's going to be a whole group that doesn't go back to work. And that's good, because in the past, so many were like drones, getting up every day, going through the same old motions, going to a place they really didn't want to work, sitting in a cubicle, going through the drudgery of day after day, a boss they didn't like, a job that wasn't fulfilling. Millions and millions and millions around the planet said, no more, no more. Does that sound familiar? Because so many of you did it first. There's going to be time that I'm going to work with Caldra, Linda, the Crimson Circle staff. We're going to lay some timelines over what you have been doing as Shambra these last 20 years, and then planetary changes, and you're going to see how they, and I'm holding my hand separate like this because you do it first, and then it happens on the planet. What, a year later, 5 years later? The words that we use in our gatherings, your words are showing up in everyday life now. And you're setting the pace. The interesting thing there is before where you were and kind of where you'd say general mass consciousness there was a big divide. General mass consciousness is catching up fast, and with time fracturing, that delay factor between what you're doing and what happens on the planet is becoming less and less. I know once in a while you get the who me complex. Who me? You know, making a change on the planet? I can't even get out of bed in the morning. I go to pour the creamer in my coffee and it's sour because I forgot to, who me? Making a planetary change? Albert Einstein couldn't tie his own shoes. He had a hard time. They tried to keep him away from cooking because he was just a disaster. But yet, one of the most brilliant people of generations. What you're doing right now doesn't have anything to do with how well you tie your shoes. It doesn't have anything to do with, if you get out of bed. And you're all losing track of time, showing up late for meetings and every appointments, and you don't even know what day it is most of the time. You come up to talk to me in your nocturnal state, and I'm like one of those trauma testers, and it's like, all right, look into my eyes. Now, tell me, what day is it? I have no clue. So, all right, what's your name? Which name? I have a lot of names. Which lifetime are you talking about? They're all... Time is cracking, and we need to laugh about it. We need to have fun with it. It's a really, really good thing. So I digress. I have to get to audience interaction. It's been 18 months. I don't know if I know what to do. I may need some assistance up here in being who I am. Obnoxious, provocative, annoying.
No. It comes natural for you. Not
You're
to worry.
right.
Not
You're
to
right.
worry.
It's not natural.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. So
you can do. We're celebrating you. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this.
All right. Why don't you grab the mic and go out there somewhere?
Did you just chase me off?
No. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge dear Linda for taking your crap for the past 18 months. You played.
It was a challenge.
Yeah.
It was my honor. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Yeah, but now you can give up that role and you can
right.
go back to being the annoying microphone carrier. A couple words of caution. If you do not want the mic, please don't sit like this. Linda has a bullshit detector, and she uses it with Caldra all the time. She knows. It's like this communication. Even though you're like this, she can feel it screaming out, "Not me, Linda," kind of slow motion. No. So, and on the other hand, if you think going the other way by waving your hand, I'll take the mic, she overlooks that. She finds the ones who are the most interesting. So, Linda, please, let's give her a hand as she goes back into the audience with the Shambra microphone.
I look for the ponderous.